Hey everyone, welcome back to Max Easy Lessons. We are in the final of the Breath, Eyes, Memory, simple review. Today we are going to look at the characters and the symbols. If you are new to the channel, people, please remember to hit the red button below, hit the bell notification. It's coming on much closer to your exams right now, and I'm going to be uploading much more videos during this week that can help you across the board. So hit the red button if you are returning to the channel. Thank you so much for staying around. Continue to stay around. Thank you so much for watching all of this. So let's get straight into it. Characters and symbols in Breath, Eyes, Memory. The men in the novel are interesting, because Danticat presents men in two different ways. Some are negative and some are positive. The Tonton Makuts, yes, they are brutal, and we know also that Augustine has hurt Tante Attie by jilting her. However, we still meet Joseph, who reminds us then that hope is not lost for all men in the novel. He is incredibly sensitive and supportive towards Sophie. And then there is Mark, who actually goes out of his way to understand Martine. He even attempts to assist Sophie after Martine's death. Danticat makes it her point to show that women have been traumatized by men. Yes, they have suffered as a result of men and the actions of men, but the truth is that Danticat does not blame these men for the sufferings, and neither does she try to present to the readers that all men are negative in their actions. The circle of women is important to the Haitian culture. There is grandmother Ivy, Martine, and Attie. There is Sophie, and there is Brigitte. All of these women represent 4 generations of women who come together because they have something in common, not just the fact that they're family. They have suffered, aside from Brigitte, they have suffered through some kind of trauma, some kind of abuse. Martine and Ivy have been abusers themselves. Yes, they have abused because Martine tests Sophie, and to Sophie that's abuse. And of course, Martine also went through that with grandmother Ivy. We also see a new way of bonding in order to offer strength and healing, because as the circle of women get together, they try to help each other despite their past. They try to help each other to heal. They offer strength towards each other. And with the wisdom that Sophie has, she now shows that the new generation of Haitian women will not go through the same sufferings and abuse that she has gone through as a child. Now let's get straight into the symbols. There are many symbols in the novel, but here are just a few of the symbols that we'll look at. There is Martine's doll and the photograph of Sophie as a baby. This is the first one. Now, these are presented as symbols which literally are presented in the room. They suggest that Martine has a Sophie in a frame, as it were. She basically, she had not been the primary person in Sophie's life. Martine had not been a primary person in Sophie's life, and for her this was perhaps her way of showing that she knew how to care for Sophie. She had that doll which would represent the missing child that she has. You have seen people play with dolls and you are thinking that, oh, these people know how to interact with kids, etc., because you find that you can transfer the love and care that you would have for a little baby to a doll. Now, there is a photograph of Sophie as a baby. These are the memories that Martine holds. These are the missing pieces from Martine's life. And so the doll would represent the Sophie she left as a baby. The photograph of Sophie is framed, and so she puts Sophie in a world of her own. At the same time, the frame can stand as a border, a protection then for Sophie. And so she puts her in this frame so that she can protect her. The colors are important. They are symbolic. The yellow daffodils were planted in Haiti by a French woman who they grew where they did not belong. Symbolically, they represent the transplanted lives of Martine and Sophie. Martine turns from daffodils to hibiscus and from yellow to red as her favorite color, which signifies that she has embraced her heritage from Haiti once more. But the red dress that Sophie buries her mother in It stands as a liberation for women. Red is bright and it goes against all funeral rites and practices. And for her to bury her mother in red means that she defies the traditions in many ways. And so she is changing the way that women function in the society, the way that people view women in society, and the strength of the woman in the society. She shows that with this red, she is bold. And although Martine could not be bold during her living days, she could be bold in death. Food is also important, and particularly the Haitian food. The food preparation and the coming together to enjoy food means that it creates a bond between families and people. The enjoyment, the community, the camaraderie, the love, and the family. This all is represented in the food, the potluck that they have. Significantly, Sophie develops bulimia, which is an eating disorder. So she will eat the food, but she is more concerned with her physical appearance, and so she forces herself to carry up the food that she has eaten. The statue of Urzuli is representative of strength. Strong women in the society. She's an African goddess who is still revered in Haiti. Under the colonial government, Haitians were introduced to Roman Catholicism. In Christianity, the Virgin Mary is seen as one that is holy. In the African culture, the statue of Urzuli is seen as one who is strong. Now, many women could embrace both of them. You know, the whole idea of being a submissive spirit, as with Mary, and then who endures, submissive and endures the harsh realities of the Haitian culture towards women. But then there is Urzuli, who stands against what the Haitian culture believe and rises against it. And so we see Sophie creating that image in many ways. The story of Urzuli is interesting. It's rather interesting. She feared no man, but she rather made them her slaves, killed them after she had raped them, and her strength is clear here. When Sophie presents a statue of Urzuli to her therapy group, she is basically telling these women that they need to rise above the typical stereotype of women who are submissive and to celebrate their womanhood, to claim their power as one of the stronger genders. Well, one of the stronger gender in many ways, yes. Cancer is the final one. It is a symbol. Martine's breast cancer symbolizes the haunting memories of the abuse of testing and the violent rape by the Tonton Macoute. Her experiences have eaten away at her life and denied her a future, and so she lives with all of this regret, this hurt throughout all of her life. While we can say that Sophie lives with it but changes it because she is stronger in many ways, Martine succumbs to all of that, all that which is going on around her. She succumbs to the whole weakness of women. She takes her own life, which makes her weak in many ways. Sophie is stronger. She fights against everything that is happening around her, and she makes a different and a better life perhaps for herself and for her daughter. No, this was the last in the series on Breath, Eyes, Memory in terms of notes. But if you stay tuned to the channel by clicking on that bell button and that subscribe button, you will find that I will present questions and sample ways of how you can answer those questions for your examination. So please, if you're still having issues with breath, eyes, memories, all right, here's what you're going to do. Stay tuned to the channel. If you're returning, if you're new, stay tuned to the channel. There will be more coming your way in terms of getting you to become more familiar with the questions that are there and finding possible solutions to answering these questions. Thank you so much for stopping by and have a blessed week.